Hey, whoever's out there, wanted to make a video about breaking your talus bone. It happened to me. It'll be 3 months from the day of the accident, in a couple days. And when it happened to me, I was kind of having a hard time finding, a lot of good information on what to expect and kind of testimonials from people who it happened to. There's some good stuff in forums, and there's a couple good YouTube videos out there. But I figured it'd just be worth making one just so that people who, have this kind of accident, there's as much information as possible. So, basically what happened to me is I was mountain biking, had a fall, shattered my talus, kind of pretty typical. The top of it pretty much crushed. The hospital I was initially went to said it was one of the worst they'd ever seen. So thankfully I live in Colorado, and they referred me to, I ended up at Colorado University's orthopedics department and got hooked up with a really good surgeon. And anyway, so I had 2 surgeries. After the first one, I was in an X-Fix for a long time. And then they did a second surgery where they put permanent hardware in there, and then I was non-weight bearing for 12 months. So I just got off crutches, I guess it's 5 days ago now. So I'm finally weight bearing. My walking is kind of what you'd expect. Ankles really stiff, muscles are pretty atrophied, so definitely painful with a bit of a limp, but I can walk around without a cane. And I'm happy to report that I actually just skinned, if you're familiar with Colorado, I just skinned from the base to the top of Steamboat and skied down. It wasn't pretty, certainly didn't look like an Olympic athlete out there, but I was able to do it. So I guess it's all just to say that, if you've had this injury, if you're in the early stages of it, I don't know what to expect going forward. I mean, I know I have a lot of rehab to do, but, based on the way it feels, I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to make pretty close to a full recovery and get back to normal life. And yeah, so if you've had this injury and you're reading a lot of scary stuff and hearing a lot of scary stuff, just, stick with it. I would say definitely listen to the doctors. If they tell you not to weight bear for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, do it. Like, don't rush it. And then when they tell you you finally can, just, get out there and get after it and trust it. So, another thing you'll probably hear and read about is the avascular necrosis risk. So thankfully, the way mine broke, they're relatively confident the way they put it back together that I'm not going to have that issue, and they don't see any signs of it yet. So I don't know if I'm 100% out of the woods there, but the surgeons are pretty confident that that won't happen. So anyway, just wanted to make this video. If you want to leave a comment, ask me more questions, happy to share information with you about my recovery and kind of what to expect and all that type of stuff. But anyway, so for those of you out there struggling with it, if it just happened to you, I know it sounds like a really serious injury, and it definitely is, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. So cheers, guys. Thanks.